One of the most interesting films of TIFF this year was The Assessment.
Your visitor has arrived.
I'm Virginia, your assessor.
It is the feature film debut from director Fleur Fortune, who has been working as a director in various capacities for some time, most notably as a director of music videos for folks like Travis Scott. And her debut here is one that I think a lot of folks will be talking about. To be honest with you, through the first act, even two acts, I was thinking that this could be one of the best sci-fi films I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years. Unfortunately for me, the third act falls apart a little bit, but there's still so much that I absolutely loved here. Most notably, and it hits you pretty much right from the start, is the color. And when I say the color, I mean everything that you see in frame, from the costuming to the production design to the color grade itself. This is clearly a director with a strong understanding and knack for visual language. She clearly understands the nuance of design within the frame, and the color just pops off the screen. And look, that's a testament to so many folks involved in the project. So I just want to give them some quick shout outs because people outside of the director and the cast don't normally get that sort of recognition. And I'll probably mispronounce some names here, but we have Magnus Jønck as the DP. We have Jonas Damm as the colorist, Sarah Blenkinsop as the costume designer, Jan Houllevigueigue as the production designer. Yeah, almost certainly mispronounced some names there, but these folks, in tandem, of course, with Fortune, crafted a visually stunning film. Basically, the assessment is set in the near future where resources have been depleted, and as a result of this, most couples cannot have children. If a couple wishes to have a child, they must go through the assessment, the title of the film. And our two main characters here, played by Elizabeth Olsen and Himesh Patel, are great as a couple wanting to have a child. So they bring in the assessor, played by Alicia Vikander, and things go wild. Vikander is tremendous here. She is able to portray essentially multiple different characters within this one assessor so beautifully, sometimes very creepily, but is ultimately able to execute what I imagine was exactly what Fortune was wanting. Elizabeth Olsen and Himesh Patel are also great, particularly in their interactions with each other. They do provide a realistic portrayal of a couple in love, but also struggling in a number of different ways. Patel's character works as an engineer of sorts, where he essentially is tasked with crafting things like replica pets, because again, with limited resources, folks are not allowed to have real pets, so he generates in this room replicas through his imagination. And the design of that room is super, super cool, futuristic, sci-fi, and the sound design within that room is also very, very cool. One other performance that I just want to quickly mention comes from newcomer Anaya Thorley, who is absolutely hilarious in this dinner party scene. She is the only non-adult in the room, and she is more or less asking the questions that everyone in the audience wants to ask, and her comedic timing is so, so good. Like I said at the beginning, the assessment is just building and building and building, and I'm completely hooked, and it ultimately builds to this crescendo and then kind of falls flat. It's clear that Fortune had an idea of what she wanted to say, but just isn't quite able to put all of the pieces together. The assessment is a exploration of how we deal with pain and trauma and loneliness and desire, and how that manifests in very different ways depending on the person. It also plays on some power dynamics, which is, well, quite powerful, and also difficult and uncomfortable in moments. Vikander's character is also very explicitly infantilized, purposefully so, but very uncomfortable for the audience. There's so much to love. I just wish that Fortune was able to tie it together, and instead, I left feeling just slightly deflated. That being said, I will be first in line to see whatever she comes up with next. From a visual perspective, the assessment is just truly gorgeous.